Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us once again here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Sunday night racing at the short track under the lights. It's the RFC NextGen K&N Series here at Iowa Speedway for the UPMC Hillman Cancer Center 150. Points heading into tonight's race look a little bit something like this. Only race number 2 so far here out of this racing season for these K&N Series drivers, and there you see the man on the top of the points is the man on the top of the board here in Happy Hour. The 77 of Lance Yancey trying to get the job done yet again here at Iowa. Just about 5 minutes left here in qualifying, here before we get set to go qualifying. And man, oh man, I tell you what, it is going to be an absolute barn burner of a race here tonight. I am David Worrell, and you are watching the Turn 3 Racing Network, RFC NextGen K&N Series here on iRacing.com, world's #1 racing simulator. And you do see some drivers out there having some issues and trouble as we are working to shake out these cars, shake out the bugs before we get set to put down our hot laps here tonight. And man, oh man, I tell you what, I am not necessarily a great fan, so to speak, of this track, just because I do not particularly like Richmond. But this track, as you see with our track facts brought to you by 946 Designs, this track was modeled after Richmond International Raceway, none other than Rusty Wallace. He helped design, build, and at one point owned the track. Has since sold it to a bigger Speedway corporation, owned by a little bit more well-off people. I'll just leave it at that. Nonetheless, Iowa, a great track for these K&N Series drivers. They are going to be, I mean, flat out almost, once you wear in these tires, do have to keep in mind this is the K&N cars. The older Chevy Impalas, or Chevy Camaros, I believe. Heck, I forget. We'll have to get one of the drivers to tell us about that. But we're going to catch a moment, if we can, with today's race sponsor. And that is none other than Ray Radford. Let's see if we can't catch a brief moment with Ray before we get set to go qualifying, and see if we can get a hold of Ray. Ray, you got your ears on? Hey, bud, just wanted to give you a brief moment to tell us the meaning behind, or how the sponsorship for this race came about.
Hey, Dave. How you doing?
Pretty good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. Dave, first I'd like to thank NextGen and RFC for coming together to create this great series they've done. This series has a ton of good racers in it. I'm quite honored to be part of it. I'd like to be able to, I'm glad I'm able to sponsor on behalf of UPMC. UPMC is a chain of hospitals in Altoona, Bedford, Everett, Pittsburgh, PA. Dave, I was treated for neck cancer stage 4 2018 in Altoona, and to this day I'm still in remission. They've also have an awesome Children's Cancer Center in Pittsburgh, PA. Also, I'd like to thank you and wish everybody a good luck, and I'm glad I could help do my little part.
Well, Ray, we'll be rooting for you out there on track, and that's a great story. Hats off to get yourself into remission and remain healthy. So hat tip to that, fist bump if you will, and we will let you get going. Any other shout outs, anything like that before you jump in the car here for qualifying?
Yeah, good luck, Ray.
All right, hopefully we will catch up with you later, bud.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it.
And there you have it, Ray Radford, giving us a little bit of backstory why he chose the UPMC, Hillman Cancer Center, to be the featured sponsor for today's 150-lap race here in Iowa. Less than 5 seconds to go, and we're going to switch over to qualifying. Drivers will begin to clear the track as they do now. And Ray, a heck of a job, first and foremost, to beat cancer and remain healthy and keep battling through it. Glad to see you out on track with us, bud. Wish you the best out there tonight. And we are now set for qualifying, so let's see who's out there on track. So far, looks like we do have the 8 machine of Kendall Levron. He is out there right now putting down, up into the wall, so he's going to redo that lap. So we'll look at the 6 of Eric Blunt getting ready to roll off of pit road. Thomas Light also out there. Justin Revord also on track. Few drivers other than that. John Jenkins, Adam Lambert, Bobby Summers also making their laps around this not quite a mile track. It's about 0.899 miles. Really fast, short track to be racing at. And looks like a lot of drivers struggling already. Corey Walters does seem to be the man on the move for a minute. Now scratch that, as Kenneth Osmond's gonna take the pole position away right now. We'll see where Eric Blunt slots through. He's coming around. First timed lap for Eric is going to slot him into the 5th position. Keeping an eye on the rest of the leaderboard. Damon Cox in the 57 machine. He has made his way to the end of pit road. Kenneth Osmond keeping that pole. Oh! Sideways is Eric Blunt. Look at him dirt track that thing. My goodness, how he didn't wreck it before that, I will never know. That was a heck of a display right there. Chris Medford in the 84 also out there on his opening laps. Looks like he's actually shutting it down just a little bit here. Maybe going to attempt an even faster lap. Get them tires heated up. Crossing the line the first time. Sounds like he may be having some issues out of that motor. A little bit of sputtering coming out of that 84. So we will jump on board now with the 22 of Cody Terry. You also see now hitting the gas right up there near that outside lane. Taking the green flag for his first lap. Coming off of turn 4 to the line for the first time, the 22 of Cody Terry will slot in the 16th position. He has got a lot of ground to make up if he wants to try to steal that pole position away from the fast number 7 of John Jenkins. John sitting on top of the speed charts right now with a 23.362. So you're going to have to be on it if you're going to want to dethrone Jenkins. As Cody coming around, slotting all the way up into the 5th spot, will now jump on board with the 49 of Troy Radford as he is beginning his outlap. So we'll watch to see here if Troy does any warming up of the tires or if he just sits the way that it is. We'll go ahead to our turn 3 onboard cam here with Troy. Troy only able to slot into the 18th position, coming around this time. See if he's able to improve. Looks like Damon Cox in the 57 still just kind of hanging out there on pit road as Troy finishes his lap. We'll see if we can't jump and find anybody else on track. Looks like Roger Muth in the 39 machine just hanging out there at the exit of pit road. And Troy Radford with a huge jump all the way up to the top of the board of this huge field here tonight. Very interesting. Thanks for poking me with that. Let me see why. I don't understand why there wouldn't be. Very interesting here. Bear with me. Don't know why it wouldn't be having any of the car sounds. Everything seems to be okay. So I don't know. So we'll just roll on for a second, see if that fixes it, see if that takes care of it. Anybody out in the chat can let me know. That would be absolutely fantastic. See if I can get a word in with some support here. We ride along with Roger Muth as he's coming around. I believe this will be his second timed lap here in qualifying. Slotted in the 22nd position for his first time lap. And for some reason, it was just turned down. Don't understand why or how, but anyways, Roger understands how to get around this short speedway all the way up to the 4th position. So great qualifying effort out of turn 3. Racing Network's very own Muth in the booth. 39 himself, Roger Muth, sitting well as we have about 2.5 minutes left here in qualifying before we get set to go green flag racing. We inch closer and closer to the time to head down track for our pre-race festivities, the singing of our national anthem, and of course, our flyover. So that will be heading your way momentarily. Looking for other drivers on track, not seeing any. So there you see your qualifying order as they sit right now. That may change here in just a minute if any other drivers decide they're going to put down some timed laps. We're just going to stick here with the 39 as he's coming back around. Just kind of making laps for the good old show. See if anybody else is out on track. Looks like Rick Reinert sitting at the... Yes... And I'm gonna have to fix my pokes because I don't know why they keep showing up over there. But thank you to the drivers, the help, the admin, the team behind the scenes, everybody letting me know when there's a little hiccup, when there's an issue, getting it fixed. And with that being said, we're going to go ahead and head on down to the track for your pre-race festivities, the singing of your national anthem. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back here on Turn 3 Racing Network.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
And we are back as promised, haven't missed a thing. We will now run through today's qualifying order for you. Your race grid looks a little something like this. Row number 1, pole position, the 49 of Troy Radford. Sitting to his outside in the 7 machine, John Jenkins. Row number 2, the 2 of Ricky Harden, followed by the 39 of Roger Muth. Row number 3, the 21 of Jeffrey Vandervoort, in the 77 of Lance Yancey. Row number 4, Cody Terry in his 22 machine, side by side with the 28 of Dustin German. Row number 5, the 13 of Vic Wagner, and the 37 of Cole Day. Row number 6, the 23 of Bobby Summers, and the 88 of Kenneth Osbin. Row number 7, the 31 of Donald Bennett, followed by the 98 of Thomas Light. Row number 8, the 08 of David Smith Jr., and the 67 of Chris Berg. Row number 9, the 72 of Andrew. Messing up there. Sorry. Anyways, we're going to continue to scroll through our grid with the start of this race looming here in just a moment. Got a little bit of driver issues going on right now, so not quite sure what's going on with that. We'll have to take care of that here in just 1 second. It should all work itself out. That is something fierce too, as we continue to roll through today's starting grid for you here at Turn 3 Racing Network. And here in just a moment, we will have to take care of that. Still rolling through the starting order for you. And there you go. That concludes this week's starting order. Sorry, trying to deal with some graphics issues and things going on right now. Got it underway, I do believe. And just as I say that, we got a little bit more of that blinky action going on. Nonetheless, we're going to get back to the action. Green flag racing here for the UPMC Hillman Cancer Center 150. Looks like most of the field starting to settle itself in where we need it. As of right now, your race leader being scored somehow, showing Chuck Mobley up there as your race leader, but he is sitting on pit road. Not sure how that's all working itself out. There it goes. Now it's working itself out. Caution is out on track. Take a look back through the field, see if we see anything going on. Not seeing anything at all going on the screen right now, so no drivers. Maybe the 3 torn up a bit. Knew if we searched around we would get to the bottom of it eventually. See what happened. A few other drivers also involved. Oh, the 3 up the track. Collects a few. Roy Hyde involved. A lot of drivers here getting torn up early. Take one more look at this back through the field from our blimp. Here you see the 3. A little bit of netcode action there, but then into the 6, into the wall, into Roy Hyde, back into the outside wall. Drivers collected once again. So that's going to bring us to our first, and my goodness, why in the world does it do this sometimes? Not understanding. Okay, we will have to take a real quick commercial break. We will be right back here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Don't go anywhere. We'll have the bugs fixed here momentarily. And we are back here at Iowa for the UPMC Hillman Cancer Center 150. A little bit of graphics and technical glitches going on up here in the production booth, but trying to work them out, ironing everything out. Should be alright. May get a little bit of hiccups going through the front stretch here through this tri-oval area. Under caution, do not believe we'll have that issue when we go back. Green flag racing should be somewhere right around in here if it's going to take place. Looks like everything has been ironed out though, and we now have our 1 to green. Field will get double file. We will get set to go back. Green flag racing once again here at Iowa Speedway out here in Newton, Iowa. So yeah, great racing in the heartland, that is for sure. Pace car lights are off. Troy Radford in the 49 machine, your pole sitter, still gonna bring this field to this restart. John Jenkins sitting to his outside. Roger Muth slotted in the third position. Pace car will duck off. Radford has the ability to go at the restart line, hits the line, and he is gone. He gets a great jump on the 7 of John Jenkins. Now the 39 of Roger Muth looking to the inside. That is for second position. Not going to quite clear just yet. He gets the position off of 2, sets his sights in on the 49 of Troy Radford. Entire field all over each other right now as we sit. Looks like Lance Yancey trying to take a position away from the 7 of John Jenkins. Still side by side battles back through the rest of the field. The 21 is side by side. I believe that was the 21, may have been the 31, but there you see right now the 28 of Dustin German all over that rear deck lid of the 77, last week's race winner. Lance Yancey now looking to the inside of John Jenkins as they enter 1 and 2. Not going to have the momentum, not going to keep it wound up. Cody Terry lurking in the background just behind them. Here you see the 13 of Vic Wagner leading this short 4-car pack. Battle up front has not changed. Troy Radford still in the race lead. 1.13, almost 2/10 of a second. Just looking back through the rest of the field to try to make sure we catch anything and everything we can. Battle for the lead now brewing with the 39 of Roger Muth as he is digging on that bottom, and we'll take you to our onboard cam here with Troy Radford as he is trying to maintain the race lead up there on the high side. Roger Muth digging on the bottom. He's going to be able to get the position, not quite just yet. Back with the onboard with Roger. There you see what he sees out of his windshield. Looks like he's able to finally make the pass into the lead. Turn 3's very own Roger Muth. Trying to make a comeback on the inside lane is that 49 of Troy Radford. He hasn't given up the position just yet. Still fighting with the 39 as they work their way through 3 and 4. Muth on the high line, Radford in the middle. Give it to Muth at the line. Put another one in the bag for him. That's his second lap led. Now looks like he has a little bit of momentum. He may begin to pull away from that 49. Just behind them, battle brewing. That's third through about 8th. All over each other. That is John Jenkins, Dustin German, Cody Terry, Lance Yancey, and Kenneth Osmond all right there with each other. Jeffrey Vandervoort also lurking in the background in that 21 machine. These drivers haven't sorted it out just yet. Then a little further back through the field, this is a battle for 14th and 15th between David Smith Jr. in the 08 and the 48 machine of Justin Revord. Just back behind them, you can see the 33 of Brian Mescal Jr., Dylan Blankenship, Ricky Harden, all of those drivers still running hard here. Working lap 15 out of 150 here tonight. Nobody is giving way just yet. However, up at the front, man on screen right here, Roger Muth in the 39. He is getting the job done, maintaining about a 2/10 of a second race lead over the fast 49 of Troy Radford. And I tell you what, while we got a chance, while they're all still grouped up, we're going to go ahead and give you a little bit of all shut up and crank it up. man. Gotta love it. Gotta love the racing action back here. That is for 4th and 5th, 6th. All right there, Cody Terry, the man, however, sitting in 3rd, leading this pack. But up front, that battle still raging on. Troy Radford able to come back, make the pass on the 39 of Roger Muth. Wonder if Muth may have used up them right side tires just a little bit too early, a little bit too soon. Looking back through the field, looks like we do have another battle brewing on track as Troy Radford steps away from the 39 of Roger Muth. On track now, riding with Joshua Caudle. He's got his hands full with Justin Revord, as well as the 94 of Joshua Caudle. Thomas Light now giving way to those two machines. There you see him just off in the background, the 98 machine, trying to work his way up through the rest of this field. Looks like we have had a lot of cars collected and damaged, a lot of cars gone, a lot of cars hurt out there tonight. We'll have to wait and see how everything shakes out back here. Running in the 31st position, the 31 of Donald Bennett. And actually, I believe that may be the 47, not sure. Yes, that's right. That is the 47 of Ray Radford. He is still out there getting the job done as well. Timing and scoring a little bit wonky, a little bit crazy for me. Having to deal with the technical issues and aspects that I was having to put up with and deal with. However, Roger Muth, look at these two. They are still on it. They are still getting it. About a half a second lead now. A lot of these drivers may be showing up a little bit different from about 26th on back. We will have to address that problem here in the broadcasting booth for our next race. Have some technical issues. Going to have to iron out with some of the producers. Nonetheless, Roger Muth trying to track down the fast 49 of Troy Radford as they make their way around a slower lapped car. Lap car did move out of the way pretty nicely for the field. Looks like we do have a battle still brewing right here. That is for 5th and 6th. Kenneth Osmond, Jeffrey Vandervoort, John Jenkins, all right there just off in the foreground. Lance Yancey, last week's race winner, running in the 4th position. Nothing changing up front. Troy Radford now leading the field by just over 0.4 of a second, almost a half a second now, as he continues to click off the laps, leading 19 laps out of the 28 that we have run so far. Roger Muth, your only other race leader. So only 2 lead changes here tonight. 1 caution flag so far here for the UPMC Hillman Cancer Center 150 at Iowa Speedway. Lance Yancey digging on the bottom, trying to make a pass on the 22 of Cody Terry, just off to your foreground, as John Jenkins trying to make the pass as well on the 21 machine of Jeffrey Vandervoort. That's not happening yet. We'll take a look at this battle as it's a little bit closer. A little bit more action back in the back around 10th and 11th. There's a huge battle going on between Bobby Summers and Dustin German. They have been all over each other, just as Cody Terry and Lance Yancey have, going back into turns 3 and 4 here. Yancey running that middle lane, offset about a half of a car, trying to keep some clean air on the nose, try to help it turn just a little bit. 31 laps into this green flag run. These drivers will be looking to hit pit road in about, I would say, the next 15 to 20 laps to try to get some fresher tires. And caution is out on track. We'll have to see what we see and where we see it. Not seeing anything on track. Yay me. Doo-doo-doo. Everybody looking like they're okay. Unfortunately, not seeing anything on our side of the screens to tell us anything. We will have to stay with Troy Radford, your race leader, as he brings the field down pit road for the first time here tonight for green flag pit stops that we missed because the caution has flown on lap 32. And man, this is a little bit frustrating at times. Timing and scoring not wanting to cooperate and do what it should. Few drivers looks like on and off pit road very quickly. Dylan Blankenship in the 51 machine, he actually didn't even make his pit stop. Troy Radford will win the race off of pit road. So, yeah. I've got to get that worked out because that is going to drive me absolutely insane as you see another round of cars hitting pit road this time by. Troy Radford already weaving the tires, trying to keep some heat up in those things as he's going to assume your race lead. So we'll see while we're under caution here if we can't get a word in with the 49 of Troy Radford. Let me see if we can dial him up. I believe I may have the right scanner this time. Hey Troy, it's Dave in the booth. You got your ears on?
I do, Dave. How you doing, bud?
Doing good, bud. Doing good. Congratulations on the pole, first and foremost. Secondly, how's the car doing out there so far?
Car feels great out here. It's a nice neutral set, not wildly one way or the other. So, and this has always been a good track for me. So I'm really just enjoying it out here right now.
All right, with that being a longer green flag run, about 31 or so laps, how did the car feel for you over the long run? Or what was fuel mileage looking like? You have about 20 laps or so left?
Yeah, I think that was about right. Hang on just one second. Let me check. Okay. So that's about right. We actually had, I think it was right at 20 is what I was showing, but the car gets real nice. Once you get off the first couple laps where it's real loose, car just gets real neutral and just drives perfect. Really never gave up. So I think the tires are just starting to come to me to help out a little bit. It started pulling away, but Roger's got a real strong car up there. I know there's a couple of other guys coming up through the pack. I don't know where Chris Berg is right now, but Chris is always real fast here. So I'm sure those guys will get up there, and as well as, I'm going to have my hands full here with Roger. He's good.
All right, well, I believe the field will be getting the one to go. So before your crew chief starts screaming at you, want to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous to anybody out there watching?
Mainly just a big thanks for my dad. He's actually a sponsor of the race tonight through UPMC Cancer Center. UPMC, of course, has a big part in our family. His dad was battling cancer there for until about a year ago. So, really grateful to still have him around, of course. And, of course, going through UPMC Cancer Center just means a lot to the family.
All right, bud. Well, good luck. Elbows up.
Thank you, bud.
There you have it. That it was your race leader, your pole sitter, the 49 of Troy Radford. But he is going to have to deal with the driver of that 39 machine. Roger Muth has been fast, has been good over the course of that last green flag run. Let's see what happens when we get set to go green flag racing this time by here at Iowa Speedway. Troy Radford will control the start as soon as the pace car hits that pit road. There it goes on pit road now. The Ford Buttstain in the hands of your race leader. On the gas, and we are back. Green flag racing once again here at Iowa Speedway. Troy Radford with a great jump over the field. Cody Terry with a big move to the inside. Rubbing fenders now with the 39 machine of Roger Muth, who is under attack by a large number of drivers here in the field. 22 of Cody Terry right there on his door. Roger now falling back to the third position. Cody Terry gets loose. He spins to the inside. We stay under green as it's off the racing surface. Cody not gonna like that. Hopefully no damage to that machine. Roger Muth with a little bit of a wiggle there off of turn 2. He now has to deal with the 88 machine of Kenneth Osborne as Troy Whoa, big moment there for Roger coming off of turn 4. He wiggles, and that's going to give the position to the 88 machine. Now lurking just behind Roger is the 77 of Lance Yancey. Good run off of turn number 2. Looking to the inside on the back stretch, gives him room into 3. Stays just behind him. Vic Wagner having to deal with the 21 of Jeffrey Vandervoort. We've got a few little gaps here. We may work through the... Whoa! Almost into the wall. That 39 of Roger Muth. My goodness, going to have to keep it a little bit further away if he's going to want to get away from last week's race winner, Lance Yancey. A little further back through the racing field. Looking at a battle brewing on between the 21 machine of Jeffrey Vandervoort and Vic Wagner and his Victoria's Secrets K&N Series car. Just behind them, Bobby Summers, Justin Rivord, Chris Medford, Thomas Light, and Alan Westman. Cole Day just outside of your top 11, running in the 12th position. Don't know why I would say top 11. It should be top 10, but sometimes it just kind of happens like that. Lance Yancey in the 77 was able to make his way by the 39 of Roger Muth that time. He will now slot himself into the third position. Gonna go a little further back through your racing field. Catch some of the battle brewing on back here. Travis Smith in the 9 car. Quiet night so far for him. He finds himself in a mess of cars as well, with John Jenkins, Brian Mescal Jr. just behind him, Rick Reinert in front. And there is a massive number of cars right here all grouped together. There you see John Jenkins going side by side with a 37 of Cole Day. Brandon Hartwell in that outside lane, almost acting as a pick for that 9 machine of Travis Smith. Travis having a little bit of connection issues. We'll jump back a little further in the field now. Take a look back here. Running with the 45 machine of Douglas Wasaki. Douglas still on the lead lap. Running in the 22nd position. Looks like drivers all through this field still running on the lead lap. A few drivers did have some bad luck. We'll go a little further back through the field here. And caution is out. And not... it's going to really perturb me. Not able to see where it was at. So we will just stay up front with your race leader, Troy Radford in the 49, able to stay out in front of the lead the entire time of that green flag run. Who will come to pit road? Who will stay out? We'll wait to see before we step away for a quick commercial break here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Lance Yancey in the 77 looks like he decided to stay out. Rest of the field coming to the pit lane. So we're going to step away real quick. We will be right back here on Turn 3 Racing Network.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
Oh, hi. What's your name? Hi, Marcia. I almost erased you. I was gonna draw a car. You do? But you're a... Well, I don't know. A racing driver? Well, we can make that happen.
Thanks for staying with us here on Turn 3 Racing Network. We are under caution for the third time here tonight for the UPMC Hillman Cancer Center 150. Crossing the line this time by, we will have 100 laps to go. Lights are off. 1 to go before we hit the drop of the green flag for our next restart. Lance Yancey deciding to stay out. His tires are about 14 laps older than the drivers that are right behind him. So gonna be a big difference on the tires. The restart could get a little bit sketchy here. We'll have to wait and see how it shakes out and what happens as your racing field working their way off of turn 4. Pace car will hit pit road. Lance Yancey bringing the field to the restart zone. Hits the loud pedal and he is off. Great jump on the field for the 77 of Lance Yancey, leading the field by 3 cars as they enter turn number 1. Roger Muth running that outside lane, trying to get the position on the 49 of Troy Radford. He's able to as they enter turn 3 and 4. Running to the outside of Troy now, the 88 of Kenneth Osmond. A lot of drivers making a lot of moves through the field here, high above this track from the spotter stands, looking down, giving you some great coverage here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Also want to give a shout out to Haywood Elite Wrestling Club out of Bethel, North Carolina for all of your blimp and aerial coverage here tonight from Iowa Speedway. And that just, I mean, gives you a little bit of perspective of how busy this racetrack is. That is 2nd through 12th position, all in frame right now. And oh my goodness, that was a little bit crazy, a little bit scary as we rejoin your race leaders. Lance Yancey has been able to step away from Roger Muthen, the 39, about 6/10 separate them. Small 10th gaps back through the rest of the field. We'll jump back a little bit further around the 7th place position. That is going to be the 40. Oh! And oh my goodness, we've seen that all taking place, trying to look and find the driver. Oh my goodness. Chris Medford went for a ride that time by. We'll take another look at this from Chris and see what all happened. Oh my goodness, here we go again with this stuff, huh? Absolutely wonderful. Oh, Lord jeez. You see how that happens? You find it and then just, nah, no you didn't. There we go. On it that time. Sorry, bear with us. Field is a little bit bigger than anticipated once again here tonight. Oh, and it looked like the 23 just came up the track slightly into that 84, and disaster struck David Smith Jr. a hard hit. He is going to have some heavy damage that he is going to have to contend with. Nonetheless, we will rejoin our race field as Lance Yancey leading this field, going around the track behind the pace car now, working lap 58 out of 150 laps here tonight at Iowa Speedway. 93 laps left to go. And unfortunately, a lot of cars being involved in a lot of craziness here tonight. A lot of drivers on pit road right now. Looks like Gordon Larson Jr., Damon Cox, Travis Arthur. So many more to be named. My goodness, that was almost a big one. And I tell you what, let's see if we can't get a word in with your race leader. That's 77 of Lance Yancey. It's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, what's up, bud?
Hey, bud, real quick, last week you had some strategy to give yourself the track position. Didn't look back from there, went on to win the race. Are you trying to play the same thing this week here at Iowa?
Yeah, got the lead right here. My car does good in clean air, so even with a little bit worn out tires, I think we can still run up toward the front here. I'm probably gonna might get blew by right here, but testing it, it's early, still 90 laps to go, so I'd rather test it early and then find out, help me make my decision later on in the race.
All right, Lance. Well, I believe we're gonna get the one to go next time by, so I'll give you some time to talk things over with your crew chief as you go around the track again. You want to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous to anybody out there watching?
Who's ever watching, I send that out to a lot of people every day. Whoever's watching, I appreciate it. People from work, wife, friends and family. I appreciate all of them. We're going to try to put another one under our belt and go out here and get another W.
All right, man. Well, elbows up. there you have it. That was your race leader, the 77 of Lance Yancey, trying to use a little bit of the strategy he employed last week at Atlanta to steal the track position later on in the race and walk away with a race win. First one in the books for him here with the RFC NextGen K&N series. And I tell you what, I may be a little bit biased because I am from the NextGen stable of drivers, but driver to his outside, sitting in the catbird seat, that cat right there, Roger Muth in the 39 machine, could be sitting pretty should Lance have a little bit of issues or struggle on this restart. Roger will be ready to pounce on the situation with 15 laps, fresher tires. Pace car is off. We will get set to go. Green flag racing once again. Car waiting to go to the rear of the field. Lance Yancey has it in his hands. We will go atop of your spotter box one more time for this restart. Pace car is off. In the box, Yancey on the gas. Muth spins the tires. He's got the 49 of Troy Radford pushing him, trying to get him back up there side by side with the 88 of Kenneth Osmond, as Muth now making short work of Osmond on that inside lane. Now trying to set his sights in on the 77 machine of Lance Yancey, holding steady up there, running the higher lane on exit of 4, crossing the line. Another lap led by that 77 machine, but he is not going to be able to hold off the hard-charging 39 of Roger Muth side by side down the back stretch. Muth with the advantage going into 3, dives it to the bottom. Ahead by a car link, trying to slide up. Oh, and Lance Yancey up into the wall in a big moment. Caution is definitely going to be coming out on that one. And multiple cars flipping and spinning and craziness ensuing. We'll take another look at this from our blimp cam one more time. Back it up for you this last time. Looked like from where we were sitting before, good angle. Down into the corner goes Muth. Not quite clear just yet up the track. No contact made between those two. But Lance into the outside wall. Oh, the 2 machine collected. The 9 machine collected. The 67 collected as well. The 98 of Thomas Light. Lot of drivers torn up in that latest incident. And Lance Yancey, unfortunately, caught the brunt of that. My goodness. That is a tough break for Lance Yancey, as Troy Radford going to take over the race lead as he heads down the front stretch, crossing the line that time. Roger Muth on pit road. A lot of your field following suit, coming down as well under our latest caution here from Iowa Speedway for the RFC NextGen K&N series. Man, big night, big moment for a lot of drivers right there. That could have season points implications, as Lance Yancey was last week's race winner. Gonna have some heavy damage that he's gonna have to beat and bang on his Chevy for a hot minute to get that thing back up to the front of the field. This man on the screen, though, Troy Radford, reassumes the race lead. He has led the most laps here tonight, leading 41. Crossing the line will be 42 laps led for Troy here tonight in the UPMC Hillman Cancer Center 150. I wonder why Justin Revord's name is not showing in the timing and scoring over there on the drop down. That is very interesting. Has the time, has his name, just he's not there. Another interesting little quirk brought to you by iRacing. In the information gathering software used in providing the overlays, the information, and all that networking, Troy Radford leading this field under caution. I believe this time by we will receive the 1 to go. Cars will begin to get double file yet again here at Iowa Speedway. And wouldn't you know it, just like clockwork, Ford Butt-Stain's lights go out. Pace car will duck down. This time coming out of turn number 4. And I tell you what, a lot of drivers started this evening's race, and a lot of damaged vehicles out there on track right now. Looks like we still have about 30 cars left on the lead lap out of the 41 that started tonight's race. We will go back high atop your spotter stand once again for this restart. Troy Radford in the 49 machine. Gonna have the advantage on the bottom. Vic Wagner's on his outside in the 13. Radford hits the gas. Wagner on it as well. We're back green flag racing here at Iowa Speedway as Vic Wagner heads to the bottom lane. That's gonna allow Dustin German to pull even. Now he's going to make a run at the 13. That is a battle for second. Brian Mescal Jr. coming up through the field as well. He's side by side with the 14 of Corey Walters to his inside. Just up in front of him is the 7 machine of John Jenkins. Troy Radford has about a half a second lead over Dustin German, who had a great run through turns 1 and 2. Now Justin Rivord down on the bottom lane, digging inside of that 13 of Vic Wagner, stuck out there on the high side. Can he make it work? Keeps the position at the line. Running the middle to high lane is that 33. The 17 of Alan Westman started in the rear of the field, and my goodness, has had one heck of a run so far here tonight. Here you go. Started all the way back in the 20th position. Finds himself now rounding out your top 5 is Justin Rivord. Alan Westman. That man right there. 38th all the way to 4th and still climbing through the field. He is a man on a mission and a man moving to the front. Roger Muth in the 39, early front runner, finds himself back running in the 10th position. Everything seems to be okay with the car. No scrapes, no dents, nothing to bang out for his crew. So we'll stick it out up here, up front, with your race leader, Troy Radford, now leading this field by 0.3 of a second over Dustin German. Vic Wagner has his hands full, though, with the 17 of Alan Westman. Just behind him is Justin Rivord. And caution is out on track once again here at Iowa Speedway. Looking back, trying to see what we see. The 57 of Damon Cox looks to be okay. Chris Berg, great run last week. He seems to be all right as well. Looking back a little further through the field, looks like everybody is okay. Not gonna be able to figure that one out either so far. So, field waiting on the pace car. Troy Radford slowing up, letting the driver of the pace car catch up to them. They will stay out this time by. Few other drivers. Looks like they are going to hit pit road, though. Justin Rivord, Corey Walters, Brian Muskell Jr., Brandon Hartwell, Roger Muth, Joshua Caudle, all on the pit road. So your top 5 drivers electing to stay out on track as we are working under caution here tonight at Iowa Speedway. Caution number 6. 26 laps under caution here tonight. So far, 4 lead changes for this RFC NextGen K&N Series. And man, the track is a handful. These cars are a handful. As you see, your second place runner has some donut marks on his driver's side from a little bit of rubbing, beating, and banging earlier on in this race. Will they stay out? Leaders staying out yet again. Looks like the 6 of Eric Blount gonna get a lap back. Gonna receive the lucky dog go around. Get one of his few laps back as Eric is being scored 1 lap down now. A lot of other drivers just now coming off of pit road. They will make their way around. Most of those drivers find themselves in some trouble being multiple laps down. Lance Yancey, after trouble, finds himself running, but way behind the field there. You see the front end of that machine beat up pretty well as the 2 of Ricky Harden. I believe that's who it is right beside him. Can't quite make out the numbers. That might actually be the 57 of Damon Cox. Damon in a little bit of trouble here tonight, and you know, tough luck to see that car beat up and banged up, but a little bit of interesting facts here tonight about Damon Cox. Well, there you see it. That's right, his exclamation race. That's supposed to say first race because, you know, can't type. So things like that happen. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. Damon pulling into his pit box. Oh, Lord. Last week it wouldn't work, Damon, and this week I can't type. So, we'll have to move on from there, move on from that. As your race leader, Troy Radford, still yet to pit, has made 2 pit stops already here tonight. Most of the field has stopped 3 times. Handful of drivers have only made 2 stops. Vic Wagner, one of them. 17 of Alan Westman, also only 2 pit stops. Douglas Wasaki. And Roy Hyde in the 00, back here, running in the 7th position, has made a total of 5 pit stops. As we take a look down the right side of his Chevy, looking back at the rest of the field, we are double file, so you know what that means. Green flag racing is about to get underway. We will get set to watch this pace car go off. So we'll jump up front just a little bit here with our race leader, the 49 of Troy Radford, as he tries to keep banking these laps in his laps-led purse. Few drivers he's going to have to contend with, though. The 13 of Vic Wagner making a stand here through the middle portions of this race. 71 laps to go. 71, we cross the line. Green flag racing once again here at Iowa Speedway. Dustin German with a decent start on the outside. Vic Wagner did not get going like he would like to. Now the 17 of Alan Westman running the high lane off of 2, pulls even with Wagner down the backstretch, down into turn 3. Wagner in the middle lane, trying to force the 17 up the track just a little bit. Close racing there on the exit of 4 as Westman is going to pull the position away from Wagner going back into turn number 1. Wagner a little bit loose now as John Jenkins right to his rear bumper. Just behind this 5-car battle, you can find Roy Hyde in the 00, Rick Reinert in the 19, Dylan Blankenship and Roger Muth in the 39 rounds out your top 10. Further on back through the field, this is for around the 14th and 15th position. These drivers still working hard, trying to get the job done. Corey Walters, Joshua Caudle, and Kenneth Osborne. Osborne was one of the early front runners. Oh, car around on the inside. I believe that may have been the 45 of Douglas Wasaki as he had a moment and was turned around. We'll take a look at this once again from our one more look at it from our aerial coverage. Up here on top, the Haywood Elite blimp of Iowa Speedway, bringing you all these great. Oh, and Vic Wagner into the wall and into Douglas Wasaki, and around Wasaki goes. Everybody, missing him. That could have been a lot worse for a lot of drivers. That moment caught on camera up high from the blimp. Brought to you by Haywood Elite Wrestling Club out of Bethel, North Carolina. And man, oh man. Little bit over halfway here tonight at Iowa Speedway. 65 laps left to go. Who will hit pit road this time? And not quite sure what happened there. Troy Radford kind of disappeared on me. Very, very interesting moment. Now looking back from atop that right side, back at Alan Westman, Dustin German. You are riding on top of your race leader, Troy Radford, as he keeps the field in check, riding around this 1 mile oval here in Newton, Iowa. Man, it has been a night out there for a lot of the drivers on track. A lot of comers and goers, a lot of movers and shakers. But I tell you what, if there was one man that deserved an award so far here tonight, it would be this guy right here. The 17 of Alan Westman. My goodness, look at this. Started almost shotgun on the field. 41 drivers took to the grid here today for the UPMC Hillman Cancer Center 150. Alan Westman started all the way back in the 38th position and has driven his way up through the field to find himself in the second spot, just behind your race leader, Troy Radford. So Alan, man on a mission, man on the move. We're going to call it our Hard Chargers Award here at Turn 3 Racing Network. And I'm not sure anybody's going to be able to beat that. Alan going to have to finish up here if he's going to want to keep a hold of that Hard Charger Award. So we'll keep our eye on that through the rest of tonight's race. And it looks like we may have some drivers hitting pit road this last time by. Looked like a few were thinking about it. John Jenkins down on the apron, saving gas right now. Looks like everybody gonna stay out there on the racing surface. We are set to go back green flag racing yet again here at Iowa Speedway. Troy Radford bringing the field to the line. He takes off. Has a good jump on the field. We'll get caught back all the way up next time. Goodness gracious, I can't believe I just pulled that rookie mistake. Nonetheless, battle now rages on between John Jenkins, Alan Westman, Rick Reinert right there, Roger Muth as well. Justin Revord in the 48 machine finds himself running 7th. Roger digging on that bottom lane right behind the 19 of Rick Reinert. Dylan Blankenship in that 51 machine trying to run that high side, get the job done. As Justin Revord right behind him, Brandon Hartwell, Brian Miskell Jr., Corey Walters, and Kenneth Osmond all right there. Alan Westman way up the track that time by. He's going to lose a ton of ground. The 7 of John Jenkins going to come around, take the position away. Turns hard down into turn number 1, almost sideways for Jenkins as he secures that 3rd place position. Battle now raging on track from 4th to 8th, all over each other. Make that all the way back to the 12th position, single file after that. So this is where all the racing action is. 3 wide at Iowa, Muth on the bottom, Reinert in the middle. My goodness, not sure how they made that work. Justin Revord able to make the pass on the high side, got around the 19 of Rick Reinert. Roger Muth looking to the inside now as we have calmed down from that 3 wide action. Back to side-by-side racing. Muth on the bottom, Reinert up top. Reinert with the momentum, keeps it up on the high side, now running the middle through 3 and 4. Muth still digging in that bottom lane, trying to come up, cannot slot in between Reinert and Hartwell. He's going to be stuck at the bottom yet again into turns number 1 and 2. Now has a little bit of drive through the center. Alan Westman dealing with Blankenship all over his rear deck lid just in front of these drivers. Blankenship having to check up just a little bit. Muth not giving up just yet, still hugging that inside lane. Brian Miskell Jr. dropped back from this battle. He finds himself running in the 14th position. as we sit right now, working lap 98 out of 150 here tonight at Iowa Speedway. 53, now make it 52 laps to go for the UPMC Hillman Cancer Center 150. Not much going on up front with your race leader, Troy Radford, still out to a little over a half a second lead on the 28 of Dustin German. Roger Muth now looking once again to the inside of that 19 of Rick Reinert as Alan Westman is beginning to struggle just a bit. Has very old tires on his Chevy out there trying to maintain, but is somewhat of a moving roadblock right now. Working lap 101, Muth turns his car to the bottom, hugging that yellow lane. Muth able to make the pass, slot up in front of the 19, who's going to come down right behind him. Looking to the inside into turn 3. Muth has the position 3 wide with Westman on the outside. This is going to get tight off of 4. Everybody makes it through. Hartwell and Muth make the pass. Reinert now trying to get it done on the inside as Westman still struggling as the 88 of Kenneth Osmond on his rear end. Corey Walters right there as well in the 14. And big moment there between the 14 and the 19. Westman almost into the wall right in front of Osmond. My goodness, these drivers doing one heck of a job to make their way around the struggling, much slower 17 of Alan Westman. Your top 5 as they run right now. Troy Radford has almost a second lead over the second place runner, the 28 of Dustin German. Third place, the 7 of John Jenkins. Justin Revord in the 48 machine, slots in fourth in the 51 of Dylan Blankenship, rounding out your top 5. Just outside of your top 5, running in the 6th position, Roger Muth able to make the pass on the 5 of Brandon Hartwell. Move Muth up to 6th, and he's going to set his sights now on that 51 machine just out in front of them. We're going to stay, however, with this battle right here on track. 5-6 cars all involved. Osmond looking to the inside of Corey Walters. Craig Lehrman right there as well. Alan Westman still riding in the high line, trying to make it until he has to pit. And that is going to be a big task accomplished as he continues to fall through the field. Cole Day side by side with the 00 of Roy Hyde. Roy running that high lane. The 33 of Brian Mescal Jr. right there as well with the 72 of Andreas Lambert. Andreas, I do apologize for screwing the name up earlier. I will continue to work on it as I see you week in and week out. Andreas running in the 15th position as Roy Hyde's looking to the outside of Alan Westman, who is stuck in the middle now. Brian Mescal Jr. now looks to the inside, and Westman is backing up in a hurry through the field. This is a giant fall through the pack for him. Started up front this last time, and my goodness, has fallen all the way back into now the clutches of the 16th and 17th place running cars, Joshua Caudle and Chris Berg, as they try to make their way back up through this field. Your race leader, Troy Radford, still stepping it out, still putting laps in the book, as Justin Revord has now taken over that second position from the 28 of Dustin German, but still finds himself about 1.2 seconds off of your race leader. field, working their way around some lap cars now. There you've seen the 33 of Brian Mescal Jr. He's making his way around the 00 of Roy Hyde. Roy struggling just a little bit. That is for 13th and 14th position. Justin Revord has been able to close in just slightly on Troy Radford in the 49 machine. That lead now to just over a second. John Jenkins beginning to close in also on Dustin German. So we'll hang out back here with this battle for just a few more laps. Let things unfold up front just a little bit, and Dustin German gives the position to the 7 of John Jenkins. They swap it back and forth. We'll jump up here with this battle. That is for 3rd, 4th, and 5th position. Jenkins, German, and Blankenship. You see the lap machine of Thomas Light, the 98, trying to get as much speed but stay out of the way as possible. Oh, close racing here. They're going to go 3 wide into turn 3. Thomas Light up the track, out of the way. Blankenship right on the rear end of German as they work their way off of turn 4. Give Jenkins the 3rd spot. But look who's lurking in the background. Roger Muth and Brandon Hartwell have stayed nose to tail and have started to catch your front runners. And Justin Revord also running down your race leader. That lead now cut to just over a half a second. So Justin finding some speed late here in this green flag run. And Troy Radford has been out there for an awful long time. He is going to be looking to hit pit road very, very soon, as he has got almost 70 laps on his tires. There you see that race distance, that gap closing lap after lap in between the 49 and the 48. Almost 30 lap difference in the tires between your top 2 runners. Troy Radford out there for almost 70 laps now. Justin Revord and his 48 machine has been on track for the past 40 laps. So a big discrepancy in the tires as they work their way themselves back in the way of lap traffic. Just in front of them, the 6 of Eric Blunt going to try to stay as fast as he can without slowing down the racing leaders at a track like this here at Iowa. That could be a very daunting task. Looking back through some more of the field, looks like Brandon Hartwell was able to catch and pass the 28 of Dustin German as he's going to hit pit road this time by. Move Blankenship to 4th, Hartwell into 5th, Muth into 6th. And Troy still electing to stay out there on track. And there you see, just in front of Troy Radford and Justin Revord, Troy hitting pit road that time. John Jenkins as well. A lot of drivers ducking to pit road that time by. Justin Revord staying out on track. And just in front of him, you see the 17 of Alan Westman. Alan started near the front of the field for your latest green flag restart here tonight at Iowa Speedway, and has found himself in danger of going a lap down, and caution has come out on the field. Looking around the track, not catching or seeing or catching up to any of it. Looks like everybody rolling, everything seems to be okay. not seeing or showing anything as we have drivers hitting pit road this time. And that is going to mix up the field just a little bit. So while everything shakes itself out, we're going to step away for one final commercial break. We'll be right back. You won't miss any of the action here from Iowa Speedway. And back once again, as promised. Haven't missed any of the racing action out there tonight. Here from Iowa Speedway, pace car lights are out. New race leader, the 33 of Brian Mescal Jr., electing to stay out, or actually was the winner off of pit road, I should say. Gonna bring the field to the green flag for our latest restart here. Lap 128 when we cross the line. 23 laps left to go. Can Mescal Jr. pull it off with the track position? He hits the gas and we're back. Green flag racing here at Iowa Speedway. Gets a good jump over the 48 of Justin Rivard. Excuse me, the 48 of Justin Rivard. The 43 of Craig Lerman down there on the inside. He is side by side with the 88 of Kenneth Osmond, and that's allowing that 33 machine of Mescal Jr. to walk away from the field. Rick Reinert spins. Oh, also the 67 of Chris Berg. Both of those drivers go for a ride. And my goodness, we'll take a look back here, watch and see what happens. As you see, Reinert and Berg, they just get loose, synchronized spinning. Oh, and hard contact with the inside pit wall for no contact made between those two drivers. Working their way off of turn 4. They're both just loose, and they both go for a spin. As we'll go on board one time here with Chris Berg through this little bit of a run. And there you see it right there. Car just starts to go around and nothing he can do about it. And it is a bad feeling when you are looking back at that many cars coming at you. Tough break for Chris Berg. He's going to bring it down pit road. He may have some damage to fix after going through the grass, but the man up front still leading your race. The 33 machine of Brian Mescal Jr. He has made a pit strategy bed that he is going to have to lay in as the 47 is receiving one of his laps back. That is Ray Radford piloting that 47 machine, your race sponsor here tonight for the UPMC Hillman Cancer Center 150. Man, it is going to start to get a little bit more interesting, a little bit more heated. Business will pick up. 20 laps left to go. I believe we will have about 18 to go when we go back green flag racing. So can Brian Mescal Jr. hold the field off? Looks like everybody running up inside the top 15 elected to stay out on track that time by. Travis Arthur in the 86 machine running in the 16th position has been out there for quite some time on a little bit older tires, about 40 laps on his tire cycle. Rest of the field has within 10 laps as they all hit pit road prior to our latest caution. That does, however, help out a few drivers through the field. Roger Muth, the 49 of Troy Radford, Dylan Blankenship, Brandon Hartwell, all of those drivers hit pit road under green flag conditions. Caution came out, caught those drivers one lap down. They were able to receive a waiver round before our last restart. This caution gonna catch them back up with the field and put them on a little bit of fresher tires than the rest of your field. Freshest tires on track right now, going to the 22nd place runner, the 39 of Roger Muth. So Roger looking for a big gain on those fresher tires, but he has got a large task at hand. Your first 3 to 4 laps are not the best laps. Gonna have to wait a minute for those tires to get some heat cycled in them before he starts making his charge to the front. But you best believe with about 10 lap fresher tires, he is going to be a man on a mission, a man on the move. Field begins to get double file once again here at Iowa Speedway, sitting high atop your spotter stand as we get ready to go green flag racing yet again. And I tell you what, why don't we do our green flag a little bit different here once we get going? We're going to throw you one more time to the crank it up cameras. Pace car's off. Mescal Jr. hits the gas, fires off the line very well. Justin Rivard in the 48, a little bit of blinking action going on. Craig Lehrman right behind him. The 88 of Kenneth Osborne there as well. So as the field gets things sorted out, we're going to crank it up one more time. And once again, if you don't like those sights and sounds, well, you can go on and get on out of here, because that is some great racing audio and viewing for your pleasure right there. If you haven't already, go ahead and throw a thumbs up for these racing drivers. Let them know you appreciate all the great racing action they have put on display out there tonight. Go ahead and click the subscribe, smash the bell over to the right. Let us know here at Turn 3 Racing Network, well, you like what we do up here in the booth. Digging hard on that inside lane, the 48 of Justin Revord trying to make the pass on the 33 of Brian Mescal Jr. 13 laps to go here in the UPMC Hillman Cancer Center. 150 to the line. Mescal Jr. leading still by 1 car length going down into turn number 1. 48 of Revord does have Craig Lerman right there on his rear deck lid. Kenneth Osmond there as well. Cole Day in the 37 machine making an appearance late here in the race, rounding out your top 5. Vic Wagner in the 13 Victoria's Secrets machine just behind him, running in the 6th position. I can't talk anymore. No need to say that word as your front runners battling it out. First and second battling, third and fourth battling. That's going to allow Cole Day and Vic Wagner. They're going to come up, try to put their name in the hats as we have 10 laps to go here tonight from Iowa Speedway. Justin Revord digging on that inside lane. Back into turn 3, gonna hug the yellow line is Revord, trying to make the momentum, make the pass on the 33 of Brian Mescal Jr. Back to the line, Mescal Jr. leads another lap. Even at the bumpers as they enter turn 1 and 2. Side by side now off of 2 and down the back stretch. It's a drag race. Give the momentum to the 33. Mescal Jr. hanging it all out there on the high line, keeping the momentum. Keeping the momentum wound up. Sorry about that. Got tongue-tied and then choked up all at the same time. Yep. I'm not sure how that happens, but it just did. Brian Mescal Jr. doing a heck of a job as now Kenneth Osmond way up the track, almost into the rear of the 48 of Revord, as Revord has to make a maneuver to go down to the bottom lane, trying to make the pass work. Mescal Jr. up, flirting with disaster with that outside wall. 6 laps to go when we cross the line this time by. We are still under green flag conditions. Cole Day, Vic Wagner have arrived. They are there on scene should anything happen up front. Justin Revord right there on the rear deck lid of Brian Mescal Jr. trying to make the pass, trying to keep the momentum now, running right in the tire tracks of that 38 machine, and Revord right up the track. My goodness. This is a close battle, 1st through 6th, all right there with each other. Justin Revord down on the inside lane, still trying to make the pass. 5 laps to go, 4 when we cross the line this time. Revord is not happy with 2nd. He wants 1st. Osmond right there in 3rd position, pressuring Revord for that spot. Caution is out late here at Iowa Speedway, and I believe, let's take a look back. Looks like that may have been, oh, a lot of cars involved. Rick Reinert involved. We'll take a look back. Oh, up on the wall is Troy Radford. Oh my, and flipping. Oh, and more cars and carnage involved. Let's take another look at this from our blimp, brought to you once again. Oh, one car already in the wall back there in the rear of the field. And then, oh my goodness. A lot of drivers caught up in that. We'll take one more look at it here. Just not enough room up there. Troy Radford into the outside wall. Rick Reinert into him. 3 cars get collected, then more after the fact. And that is going to put an end to a lot of drivers' nights late here from Iowa Speedway. But I tell you, what that does do is we are looking down high atop from the blimp. Brought to you tonight by Haywood Elite Wrestling Club. You're looking down at your race leader, the 33 of Brian Mescal Jr. Little bit of how Brian's race has went so far here tonight. Brian starting all the way back in the 27th position, fell back to as low as 30th tonight, and has driven his way back up to the point now leading this race. Spoke with Brian's crew chief and spotter, not wanting to have any distraction with this green-white checkered that we're going to find ourselves in right now. So we will just stay pacing up here with the front of the field. Brian Mescal Jr. leading the field right now. Justin Revord in second. Kenneth Osmond in third. Craig Lerman in fourth. And Cole Day in the 37 machine rounds out your top 5. A lot of your front runners early in the race find themselves with trouble here late at Iowa. While we have the opportunity, we'll go ahead and do a little bit of race cleanup as the 98 of Thomas Light receives his waiver round. 41 cars took to the grid for tonight's race. Still have 28 drivers out there running on track as we sit now. Only 25 cars left on the lead lap. Most laps led is going to go to the 49 of Troy Radford. But Troy not going to be able to win today's race. Heavily damaged on pit road, now being scored 2 laps down from your race leader. Man, oh man, great strategy call playing out here for your race leader, the 33 of Brian Mescal Jr. He is going to have control of this restart, and he's got to go 2 laps around this 1 mile. I call it a D-shaped oval mirror image of Richmond International Raceway, and Brian gonna have to have one of the restarts of his life. Gonna have to make sure those tires hook up on this start. Might see some games, may see him go a little bit longer in the box. We'll just have to wait and find out, along with the rest of you viewers at home. Thanks for joining us here on Turn 3 Racing Network for the RFC NextGen K&N Series. UPMC Hillman Cancer Center 150 tonight from Iowa Speedway. Myself, David Whirl, up here in the booth, glad and privileged to be bringing you all of the great racing action here from Iowa Speedway. Man, this is going to get interesting with our first attempt at a green-white checkered here tonight. We do have multiple attempts, so we may not have seen the last of that ugly Ford butt stain out on track. And oh my goodness, we're back under green. Forgot to go back live. Brian Mescal Jr. gets a great start down the backstretch. My goodness, did it again. We're going to have one lap to go if we reach the line. Mescal Jr. up flirting with the wall. The 43 of Lerman in the wall. Car spinning through the tri-oval. Mescal Jr. down into turn one. Still your race leader, Justin Revord. Right there, Kenneth Osmond there as well. Coming around through 3 and 4 for the final time. Can Revord get there? No, he can't. Up almost into the wall. Your race leader, your race winner, the 33 of Brian Mescal Jr. up into the wall after the race. But he's not going to care. He's going to go burn that thing down and enjoy his race win. Brian Mescal Jr. receiving some congratulations through the field. He's going to bring it around to the front stretch to the line. We're going to let him do some of his celebrating, some of his burning it down if he wants, if he chooses. And there he is, Superman himself, Brian the Missile Mescal Jr., your race winner here tonight for the UPMC Hillman Cancer Center 150. While we step away and get ready for our driver interviews, we would like to say don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. Glad I remembered to unmute things. Anyways, as we get set to finish things off here tonight at Turn 3 Racing Network, we're going to grab a word with your third place finisher for tonight's race, and that is the 88 of Kenneth Osmond. You got a copy?
Yeah, I've got you.
Hey, man. Great race. Great finish out there for you tonight, walking away with the third place finish. Tell us a little bit about your night.
Man, this was a lucky night. I was able to avoid most of the accidents. I got caught up in one. And then I got lucky on one of those last cautions that I'd stayed out, so I could restart in the top 5, and I pretty much just stayed there. But, yeah, a good night. The car felt good. It got a little tight there on the long runs, but, just a pretty solid race.
Well, Kenneth, I mean, you had a good run last week, good run this week, knowing that we have a week off before we head into Gateway, not Iowa. We just finished at Iowa. Why would we race here again? I don't know. But anyways, what's your thoughts looking forward to getting on track 2 weeks from now at Gateway?
Oh man, I'm not excited for Gateway at all. It's kind of like Iowa. I just don't really like the track a whole lot, no matter what car I drive there. But I'll see what I can do to piece together a good run there, just like I did here tonight.
Well, if you don't like that track as much as you don't like this, walking away with a third place finish, I'd hate to see when we get to a track you like. But Dale, once again, great finish walking away third. Before we let you go, would you like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous to anybody out there watching?
Yeah, my family watching, and thank you for everyone in this league. It was a little messy race tonight, but we got it picked up there at the end. And thank you for broadcasting.
All right, that was your third place finisher in today's race. Now we're going to see if we can't catch up with your second place finisher here tonight, the 48 machine of Justin Revord. Justin, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, dude.
Well, man, you were trying. You almost got there at the end. Tell us a little bit about your race and leading up to that green-white checkered.
Yeah, I had a really fast team red and blue Chevy, and before that caution came out, I thought that was my best chance at getting around him, but it's so hard to pass at Iowa on the inside. So once that caution came out, I knew it was gonna be so hard, especially with this new tire package. It takes a few laps for these tires to come in, and I knew once that green white checkered came out, it was gonna be really, really, really hard to pass dirt there.
Well, Justin, I mean, you're making a re-emergence on the scene here with NextGen Racing Leagues, partnered in here tonight with the RFC Racing for a Cause guys for this K&N series. Glad to see you back. Glad to see you at the top once again, walking away with a great second place finish here tonight. Before we let you go, Justin, I know we've got holidays coming up, but we head off to Gateway in 2 weeks from now. How are you feeling looking forward to that track?
Honestly, I don't have much experience on it, so we'll see what I got. But I'll just give it all I can. That's all I can do.
All right. Well, congratulations once again, walking away with second place. Before you head on out the track, you want to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous to anybody out there watching?
Yeah, thanks to anybody out there watching. If you guys want to support any veterans, go out to teamrwb.org. And you can make donations there that help enrich veterans' lives. They bring together a community. They bring together workouts, all that good stuff. So if you want to check them out, teamrwb.com or .org, and donate if you want to help a veteran out.
All right, Justin. Well, we will catch up with you in 2 weeks at Gateway, and that was your second place finisher, the 48 of Justin Revord, making a great reemergence on the scene, but making his reemergence to victory lane. Your race winner, the missile, Brian Maskell Jr. in the 33 machine. What's up, partner?
What is going on? You kept me down there waiting long enough.
Well, man, you get all the time when you get on the top of the podium, so that's just part of the deal. You get all the good accolades and everything that comes with it, but you gotta wait to talk to me. It's a small price to pay.
What a race, Dave. What a race.
Absolutely. Tell us what went through your mind and through the crew chief's mind, electing to stay out there and get the track position late in the race.
Well, this tire deal with the K&N cars, I mean, you kind of got to. And I had actually planned that, and it worked out to my advantage because I had took 4 there about 60 laps to go, hoping for that late caution so I could do my 2 tires, and it worked out.
Leading the field, coming to the closing laps of the race, caution flies with 3 laps left to go. What went through your mind at that time?
I'm disgusted. Big props to Justin Revert. I hadn't raced with that guy in so long, and me and him battled it out there, and he raced me clean. I pinched him a couple times, and he kept it clean. A big props to Justin for that. It's been a long time since I raced with him, but man, that was fun.
All right, Brian. Well, heck of a job out there tonight. You can put your name in the books as a race winner here for the RFC NextGen K&N series. And man, before we let you go, you want to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous to anybody out there watching?
Absolutely. Thanks to you, Dave, for what you do. And a big thanks to Jags, because she sent me a message that she has not sent me in quite a while, telling me good luck. And I believe that might be my good luck charm. So keep doing that, Jags. And, of course, my wife for letting me spend the time to do this.
All right, man. Well, heck of a job once again. We'll catch up with you in 2 weeks at Gateway. There you have it. That was your race winner, Brian Maskell Jr., getting the job done here tonight. Nothing left to do from us up here in the booth except run through your finishing order for tonight's race. Coming home in first position, man on the screen, the 33 of Brian Maskell Jr. Coming in second, the 48 of Justin Revord. The 88 of Kenneth Osmond slots in third. Douglas Wasaki in the 45 in fourth. Fifth goes to the 67 of Chris Berg. Sixth to the 17 of Alan Westman. Seventh, the 28 of Dustin German. In eighth place, Andreas Lambert. Ninth position goes to Roy Hyde. 10th, Victor Wagner. 11th, the 39 of Roger Muth. Coming home in the 12th position, the 46 machine of Justin Walters. In 13th, Donald Bennett. 14th goes to the 01 of Gordon Larson Jr. and the 86 of Travis Arthur rounded out your top 15. Running in the 16th spot, the 71 of Jason Edmonston. 17th, the 47 of Ray Radford. 18th position goes to the 98 of Thomas Light, while Corey Walters in the 14 slotted in 19th. 20th position tonight, the 43 of Craig Lerman, followed by the 44 of Adam Novak. Chuck Mobley in the 76 machine comes home in 22nd, while 23rd was the 37 of Cole Day. 24th spot goes to the 94 of Joshua Caudle, while 25th was the 5 of Brandon Hartwell. Damon the Unicorn Cox, not too magical out there tonight in his 57 machine, finds himself 2 laps down in the 26th position. 27th goes to the 9 of Travis Smith. 28th, the 19 of Rick Reinert. 29th goes to the 49 of Troy Radford. The 51 of Dylan Blankenship slotted in 30th, 31st, the 6 of Eric Blunt. 32nd spot, the 23 of Bobby Summers. In 33rd, the 7 of John Jenkins. 34th position tonight, the 08 of David Smith Jr., followed in 35th by the 84 of Chris Medford. 36th position goes to the 21 of Jeffrey Vandervoort, while the 77 of Lance Yancey slotted home in 37th. 38th went to the 2 of Ricky All-Star Harden. And 39th, the 22 of Cody Terry. 40th position, the 8 of Kendall Levron. And rounding out the field tonight, the 3 machine of Michael Massengill. Well, folks, that's it. That's all she wrote from us here at Turn 3 Racing Network. Thanks for joining us tonight for the UPMC Hillman Cancer Center 150 here at Iowa Speedway. And we'll catch up with you next time here on Turn 3 Racing Network.